Hey guys, Mr. Thibodeau here. So, going to go over lesson 9 for you. Adding, subtracting, and multiplying fractions. Also reciprocals. Okay? Reciprocals is a fun big old word. So, adding, subtracting, multiplying fractions. Alright, so mental math, you got to do that. Problem solving, you got to do that. New concepts. So, on the line below, AB is 1 3/8. BC is 1 4/8. So we can find AC by measuring or by adding those two things together. When we do this, as long as that bottom denominator is the same, we can just add across, okay? 3 plus 4 equals 7, okay? So here, because they're all the same on the bottom, that's just going to be 1 plus 2 plus 3, okay? So for our percentages, same sort of deal. This is a little confusing, honestly. It's using both fractions and a percent, 66 and 2/3%. The reason that's confusing is that's because it's both a decimal and a fraction, which really means it's a very small decimal. So 2/3 of a percent would be, because normally what you do, right, if you had 2/3 and you're turning that into a percent, you do it would be like 0.6 repeating as a decimal, and as a percentage it would be 66%, right? But when you're talking about 2/3 as a percent, 2/3 of a percent, what that really turns into is 0.0066%. So it's a really, really small percentage, okay? Or 0.0066 as a decimal. Okay. I think I did that just a little bit wrong. 2/3 of a percent is because if that is sorry, it would be 0.66%. There we go. It would be 0.66%. There we go. I knew something. I knew I had messed something up. So 0.66% is the same as the decimal 0.0066. Okay. So that's odd to see. You're not very frequently going to see a percentage and a decimal, or a percentage and a fraction the same. Don't worry too much about that. Okay. All right. How much money is 1/4 of a dollar plus another 3/4 of a dollar? That's 1/4 plus 3/4 equals 4/4, which equals a solid 1. 4 divided by 4. Okay. Find the difference. They have all the stuff here for you. I think the important thing to know is whenever we're adding or subtracting, the bottoms have to be the same. Okay. They cannot be different. You cannot, or you can, it just takes more work. If you had 1/4 and 2/16, okay, you cannot add these together to get like 3. What would you do? 3 what? 4ths or 16ths. So this does not work. What we have to do instead is something more complicated, and I don't know if the book asks you to do that yet, so I don't want to put it on you unless the book is going to tell you. Now, when we're doing multiplication, okay, this one's actually easy as well. When we're doing multiplication, we just multiply across. So 1/2 times 1 third is just going to give us 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay. So for B, we would do 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. Okay. And remember the accumulative property of multiplication, I could do that in any order, okay, because they're all multiplication. This would be the same if you did 0.5 times 0.75 times 0.2. That would equal the same as 3 divided by 40. Okay. All right. The reciprocals are it's basically the opposite. Okay. It's what allows us to get 1. I guess it's not opposite in the way that a negative is the opposite, and which is why we don't say opposite here. Usually we say reciprocal. So 3/4, the opposite of that, or the reciprocal of that, is 4/3. Okay, and so on and so forth. The number in its reciprocal equals 1, right? So the number in its opposite equals 0. The number in its reciprocal equals 1. Okay. So reciprocals only really matter for fractions, because for a whole number, there's not really your reciprocal of a whole number, say like 5/1, right? The reciprocal of that would be 1/5. That equal 5/5, and that would equal 1. So 1/5 is the reciprocal of 5. Because 5/1, any whole number can be put over 1, and it doesn't change it. It's the same. So 5/1 equals 5. Okay. So the inverse property of multiplication, which is something you need to write down, a times 1/a equals 1. And that only works, a cannot be 0. Okay? A can be anything else, any other possible number, but it cannot be 0. It could even be a negative number, actually, but it cannot be a 0. Okay. Reciprocals are confusing as to why you need them, but they're very easy to actually do. Okay, so I don't think you'll have much trouble with this. Let me know if you do. For the work we're going to do, the written practice here, I'll just do a new page. The written practice, want 1 through 10, and then we'll do 17 through 29 odd. Give you a little bit of a break. So 1 through 10, and then 17 and 29 odd. Okay, guys, have a good one.